Proving suspicion, also known as the foot-in-the-door technique, is a persuasion tactic that involves making a seemingly insignificant request or statement, followed by a larger request or statement. The initial request or statement is designed to draw the other person into a conversation or agreement, while the larger request or statement is meant to be more persuasive. One example of this technique is when a salesperson asks a potential customer they would like to test drive a car before asking them to make a purchase. The initial request to test drive the car is relatively small and non-threatening, but it can lead to the larger request to make a purchase. Another example is when a politician asks a voter they would be willing to sign a petition before asking them to vote for a specific candidate. The initial request to sign a petition is relatively small and non-committal, but it can lead to the larger request for the voter's support. There is scientific evidence to support the effectiveness of the foot-in-the-door technique. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people who were asked to perform a small favor, such as agreeing to display a small sign in their front yard, were more likely to comply with a larger request, such as allowing the use of their home for a political campaign, compared to those who were not asked to perform the small favor first. The foot-in-the-door technique is thought to work because it is based on the principle of commitment and consistency. Once someone agrees to a small request, they are more likely to feel committed to the conversation or situation and to be consistent with their actions. This can make them more receptive to a larger request or more persuasive statement. However, it's important to use the foot-in-the-door technique ethically and with consideration for the other person's perspective and feelings. It can be perceived as manipulative or deceitful if used in a dishonest or insincere manner. It's also important to consider the potential consequences of using this technique and to approach interactions with honesty and respect. In summary, the foot-in-the-door technique, also known as proving suspicion, is a persuasion tactic that involves making a small request or statement followed by a larger request or statement. It is based on the principle of commitment and consistency and can be effective in certain situations. However, it's important to use this technique ethically and with consideration for the other person's perspective and feelings.